Hello everyone, this is Chad the Gaming Dad here on Dad's Games, once again with another episode of Fun or Run. This is the review show where we ask, is this game fun or should we run? The game in question today is Danger Zone. I hope everybody has their seatbelts on and I hope you're prepared because we're about to enter the Danger Zone. Danger Zone is a game that was just recently released, and it's made by a small group of people calling themselves Three Fields Entertainment. The cool thing about these people that are at Three Fields Entertainment is that a lot of them used to work for Criterion Games, the people that made my favorite racing games on the old original Xbox, the Burnout games. And I've talked about it many times on my channel here. It's well documented that my favorite part of all those Burnout games in the past was the crash mode. Oh yes, the sweet crash mode where you had to try over and over again to find just the perfect way to set up a giant chain reaction of mayhem and destruction, causing all the cars to crash and get the highest possible damage dollar amount. Insurance nightmare, right? So, Danger Zone is something that they came up with that they wanted to put out there for all of us who have been just dying for some more crash mode. Even in the latest games, it seems like the crash mode has been worked out of any of the Burnout games, and then the Burnout games themselves were worked out by EA. We don't really get any more Burnout games, and there's no more crash mode to be found anywhere. So, I'm really glad that the guys at Three Fields Entertainment got together and said, hey, there's a giant gap right here where everyone wants to play crash mode, destroy some cars, cause lots of mayhem, and just have a good time doing it. So that's exactly what they bring us in Danger Zone. I didn't really know about this game until very recently, and as soon as I found out about it, I hopped on my PS4 and downloaded it right away. This game is $13. Unless you have a PSN account, then you get a discount. It's also on Steam. The people that own Xbox Ones or want to play on Xbox Ones, apparently they can't handle the Danger Zone. It's too much danger. It's not on Xbox. So I was so excited to start up Danger Zone, I couldn't wait for it to download. My heart was racing, palms getting sweaty. There's Mom's spaghetti on my t-shirt already, all that good stuff. So I fire it up, and it looks good. This game makes a great first impression, right? You just start off, and it feels and it looks just like crash mode from the old days. The crash mode we all know and love. And for a little while, you're thinking, this thing is great, I'm going to play the crap out of it. But then it begins to dawn on you that there's a couple things about this game that aren't quite as good as crash mode, and then to me, there's one giant gaping hole. So first off, the small things, you're driving only one car throughout the entire game, of which there's 20 levels, 20 different scenarios that you have to master. You get the same car each time. In Burnout, you could pick different cars, and depending on their size and weight and speed, they would affect what kind of crash you got. Not so here in Danger Zone. You have one kind of car. It's your standard four-door sedan, kind of a BMW or Audi type thing. It's one of those nondescript cars, and you use that same car for every single one of the scenarios. The other thing is that you're inside like a testing facility. It's kind of like a hologram or the holodeck on Star Trek or something, where this is all supposed to be not real. You're just driving a car and it all sort of forms in front of you before your eyes. Ooh, something like that. So it's not really a track, and it's not really like Burnout, how it was outside and you had to weave through some traffic sometimes to get down to the right intersection and cause the crash. This is more straightforward. Pretty simple stuff. So you take off and you're heading toward where all of the traffic is. You have what's called a smash breaker. Okay? Smash Breaker. Not to be confused with Crash Breaker, which was actually in Burnout 3. And I think some of the other Burnout games as well, but I'm sure EA still holds tightly on to Crash Breaker, so in this game it's Smash Breaker. Same thing. At the beginning of the race, there's a little thing down in the corner that says how many cars you have to crash before you can have your Smash Breaker become active. Once that becomes active, you can hit the button, light up your car, and boom, you blow up into a fantastic display of fire and car parts, and it affects all the cars around you. While you're flying, after you detonate your Smash Breaker, you can kind of steer your car in midair. And as you look around the track in the scenario that you're in, there are other icons there. Some of those are for score, and then other ones are more Smash Breakers. I keep wanting to say Crash Breaker. So you're tasked to get the high score that you need for either the bronze, silver, or the gold medal is to cause enough damage and mayhem. Most of the time that requires you to hit just the right spot for your first impact, get that Crash Breaker, Smash Breaker, and light it up, float on over to another one, grab that, blow up, float over to another one, grab that, blow up, etc., until you've pretty much wiped out every car in town. And that's pretty much it. There's one setting, there's one car. There's a bunch of different scenarios, but really it's the same thing over and over again, 20 different times with a bronze, silver, and gold medal for each. You have to get at least the bronze to unlock the next scenario as you go through all 3 tiers. The first 2 tiers having 8 tracks in each, and then the final tier only having 4. Hopefully in the future, if this game does well, maybe they'll release some more scenarios, a different setting, maybe a different car, something like that. But overall, what they set out to give us was a no frills, crash mode light, if you will. It's very similar to the old Crash mode, and I for one will play it every now and then on my PlayStation 4. It's just a downloadable game that's always going to be sitting there, and so if you're in the mood for a quick little bit of action where you blow up some cars and stuff, it's there for you. Now, I mentioned a little bit ago about one giant glaring omission that I just can't understand why they did this. This game has absolutely no music in it at all. What's the first thing that you think of when you hear Danger Zone? For me, and for a lot of people that are my age, you're thinking about Kenny Loggins and Top Gun. You know, Highway to the Danger Zone, Ride into the Danger Zone, the Danger Zone song. Funny that a game that has no music is named after something that's a very famous song that most people, as soon as they hear Danger Zone, think of. Maybe they could have gone after another song, this thing being in a test environment. Maybe the Crash Test Dummies. Remember those guys? The song? That guy? No, that song's not in here either. There's no music at all. There's no music in the menus. There's no music when you get your score. There's no music while you're playing. It just seems like a giant glaring omission. I thought for a minute that maybe something was wrong with my game, or that the PlayStation wasn't playing music correctly or something. I thought maybe there was something amiss. Not so. Danger Zone is also Silent Zone when it comes to music. I mean, I'm not a game developer or anything here, and I don't claim to be, but on my editing software here, I have some Apple loops. These are royalty-free bits of music, and maybe we could try to insert some of these into one of these scenarios and see if it improves Danger Zone a little bit. Anybody out there ever heard of Conan O'Brien when he does the Clueless Gamer? Let's try that song. Apple loops aren't too good for a TV show like Conan O'Brien's show, so let's try Conan's Apple loop that he uses here on Danger Zone. That's cool, but what about maybe some more rocking? Anything will work. Put any kind of music on here. I don't care. Yeah, I think that would have done a lot better. Plus, at the end, when it's counting up your score, you used to have the sound of a helicopter going by as it would count up all of your damage and ring little bells and stuff like that. There's not even anything like that here. It does say activating drone when it goes and flies over the damage to see how much you've racked up, but there's no noise. They could have easily put some random helicopter noise or any kind of noise in there for that matter. It just seems like whoever they had that was working on audio for this game, took the day off. Or they never had a person to work on audio at all. Yes, there's sounds of explosions and cars crashing and things like that, but without any music, without any crazy sound effects, this is like going to a rock concert and the guy comes out before and he's like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And then the band comes out, the fireworks go off, but they forgot to plug in their instruments. It's kind of like that. It's a little bit of a letdown. So anyway, overall, even without the music that I wish they had, and maybe someday they'll add back in, I don't know, guys. Patches, put a little music in there, anything. Apple loops, get some classical, royalty-free, I don't care, put something in there. Other than the lack of music, I would say that Danger Zone hits right on the money for what it set out to accomplish, which is to fill the void of our missing crash mode ever since the days of Burnout. So till next time, remember, you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and this is Dad's Games. And yep, it's another close one. But for Danger Zone, I'm going to say that it is fun. Thanks again for watching. If you liked that video, please press like and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys, so leave your comments and any suggestions down below. Remember, there's tons of other gamers out there just like you and me, and they also know that you never outgrow video games. Feel free to share these videos all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever you use. This channel is for all of us. Let's make sure they know that they are not alone. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.